Hey guys, it's Chef Jason Morse, your Ace Hardware grilling expert, hanging out here in colorful Colorado. We have an amazing guest with us today.
Thank you, Chef. Chris Sussman, otherwise known as the BBQ Buddha. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Are you ready to showcase a very easy recipe, right?
It's easy, but we're going to let the technique and the big green egg do all the talking.
All the talking.
All the talking. We've got a 2-zone setup using the expander and the fire bowl, and we've got the big green egg plancha to be able to get that hard sear on these ribeyes at the end.
You ready to do this?
Let's get it going.
Let's go.
For the ingredients for this compound butter, couldn't be any simpler. We're going to dice up the shallot. We've got the classic steakhouse seasoning from Big Green Egg. Got some garlic, about 4 cloves of garlic already minced up. And we've got some softened butter, a whole stick of softened butter.
All right, so we grab these guys out of the Yeti, and I'll tell you what, look at that. Some beautiful prime ribeyes. All we're gonna do is hit them with a little bit of salt and pepper.
All right, we're gonna make this compound butter now for those ribeyes.
Got it.
And we're gonna start with this softened stick of butter.
And I just went with a salted butter. Is that all right to use salted versus unsalted?
It is. I mean, some people, I like to cook usually with unsalted because you can always add salt in. Sure. You can't remove it, but I like salt. Salt's great.
Perfect.
So now we took this large shallot that's finely minced. We're gonna add that to the softened butter.
Can I help add anything for you? Or?
We've got this garlic. If you want to dump, that's about 4 cloves of garlic minced.
Okay.
If you're feeling very adventurous, you can roast that garlic before you put the steaks on to give a little bit more smoky roast flavor. And then to add a little bit more flavor profile to this compound butter, I'm going to put about a tablespoon of this classic steakhouse seasoning from Big Green Egg into this compound butter.
And they can add more or less. Or
they can
whatever,
add more or less.
Now we mix it all up.
Mix it all up.
Should we let them in on our pro tip?
Why don't you share that pro tip?
You ready?
Yeah.
So then, while Chris is mixing that up, we have a little bit of plastic wrap set. So what we're gonna do is put the butter like in the center of the plastic wrap. We're gonna roll it, twist the opposing ends. We'll go back into our Yeti cooler, and now we're gonna form a beautiful little compound butter log.
Yep.
Right?
And the great thing about that is we may use 2 pats of this for the steaks that we have today. And then you'll have a lot that will just stay in the fridge, and you could use this for several weeks.
Right, on toast.
Yep, toast.
Perfect. All right, let's get it in there. I'm ready to wrap this baby up. All right, so get this guy rolled up. We'll twist those opposing ends, and now we make this beautiful little log of butter. Throw it in my Yeti.
Let it chill down for a little bit, and we'll be able to slice it up into discs and put it on top of the steak while it rests.
And then it just like melts over the steak, right?
It's gonna be a gorgeous presentation.
Can't wait. All right, in the Yeti. All right, we've got these seasoned up. Like I said, a little bit of salt and pepper.
And the Big Green Egg is set to around 350 now, a little bit higher than we had earlier, but we're ready to go. It's perfect for roasting.
Yep.
We're gonna get these on the indirect side and let them go until they're 115 internal.
Have at it. So we're going on the offset side, right? Where there's no heat source.
We are.
And this is gonna really set that reverse sear for us. Oh, look at that.
So it's been about 30 minutes. We're gonna check these steaks and see what the internal temperature is. We're probing about 110, 111 in the middle, 115 on the outside. And we're at about 113, 115 right here on this steak. So we're gonna pull these out, let them rest for just a few minutes, and then we're gonna crank this plancha up to 500 degrees to get the sear on. All right, now that we've got those beautiful ribeyes off the Big Green Egg, we're gonna bring the temperature up to 500 degrees so we can sear them off on the plancha. To do that, we're gonna open up the top vent all the way. We're gonna open up the bottom vent all the way. And after the temp stabilizes at 500, I'll slightly close each vent to hold it there. Then we'll sear the steaks off 45 seconds per side for that perfect crust. All right, now the temperature of the Big Green Egg is up to 500 degrees. That's where we want it to do the plancha sear. We've already closed down the bottom vent a little bit. I'm gonna close this top vent just a little bit so we can hold the temperature at 500. Then we're gonna get the searing, right?
I'm ready.
All right,
Should
so remember, you gotta burp the egg.
Oh, look at that. There's no better way than to break in this brand new egg than this.
And there's so much fat and marbling in the ribeye, you don't need to grease the plancha. You just put it right on.
No butter, no oil.
So here we go.
Ready? Oh, listen to that. Okay, so how long per side? Couple minutes?
Do 45 seconds per side.
45 seconds. So we took it the majority of the way to our doneness level, right, of medium
Correct.
rare. Now, crust.
Crust.
Gorgeous.
And the beautiful thing about this style of grilling, reverse searing, is you get coast to coast perfect temperature throughout the whole steak.
Love it. And I think that's a beautiful thing to point out. Your steak now is not cut into the middle and tell us if it's perfect.
Right.
Cut into it, it's perfect.
Perfect.
Love
and
it.
and with this plancha, you get that even crust across the surface, so you get all that flavor.
Beautiful.
All right, it's been 45 seconds. We're gonna flip these over. Oh my goodness. Let me just show you that beautiful crust. All right, so now we're done. We've got a perfect sear on both sides of the steak. We're gonna pull it off of this plancha, get it on the resting board, and put that compound butter on top.
The important part about the resting process, that's where it carries over. So we kind of cook these till they're close to done, but we're gonna let them finish right to that doneness while we rest. All right, Buddha, 2-zone cooking, reverse sear.
I mean, the ingredients couldn't be any simpler, but you let the big green egg, do all the work. It is the perfect way to cook a steak.
Totally, and the flavor, fantastic. The smell, incredible.
Well, we know about the smell, but I think we could do something about the flavor.
We can quality control this, right?
I think it's a must.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel. You'll find this recipe and more, including some elotes corn salad, which we have coming up next. So without further ado.
Well, you can't forget to hope to see everybody at the barbecue
fest. Flag it. And it's time to, I'm gonna pick the piece.
I'm gonna go for this one.
That one, I'm gonna take this guy right here.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll be right here eating steak.